Baby Fani Willis down there in Georgia is not playing with the RICO. She secured her first guilty plea today. Now, this is Scott Hall, the bail bondsman down there in Georgia. Because we didn't know, they didn't know, nobody knew that Fani was securing a guilty plea. And he got a very, very good deal. But first, before I get into the deal, let's talk about why this is so damning for everybody else. Now, y'all would remember Sidney Powell. Scott Hall is connected to Sidney Powell, or is in the indictment allegedly connected to Sidney Powell in the whole Coffee County scheme. Now, on January 7th, the day after the insurrection, Scott Hall was down there with them other Coffee County officials, mucking up the water, taking photos of voter stuff, messing with the machines. Remember, we saw them on video entering in because Sidney was floating around the conspiracy theory that Dominion had something to do with flipping votes, to which they continued to talk about that on Fox, to which Fox had to pay out that almost $1 billion defamation settlement, to which Tucker Carlson got fired, to which now Rupert Murdoch is down to the ground. And out of Fox, baby, that's Sidney. Scott Hall is allegedly an associate of Sidney Powell and was in the coordination of the scheme with her. He kind of acted as the intermediary, if you will, per the indictment. Puts the sticks to Sidney and the other people in Coffee County. So, baby, I know she nervous because he's basically going to cooperate, but we haven't gotten into the deal yet, but I just wanted to give you visual representation. And, baby, I know Kenneth is upset tonight because Kenneth tried to pull a quick one on Fani Willis and was like, well, I want my speedy trial. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. And Sidney backdoored and was like, well, I want a speedy trial, too. They both tried to get it dismissed. The judge said, no, ma'am, Pam. And now both of them are going to trial together in the RICO conspiracy, I think in about 3 weeks. And now why another reason Scott Hall pleading guilty is so damning, because it connects him to Jeffrey Clark. Now, remember, I told you Jeffrey Clark worked at the Department of Justice under Trump. He was in the Civil Rights Division, but apparently, allegedly, Trump installed him as the Attorney General. He was the one involved in the phone call where they were telling him, hey, Trump cannot stay in office because if he stays in office, after we know that Biden won, there will be riots in the streets. To that, this man allegedly was saying, well, that's why we have the Insurrection Act, because the plan was if Trump was to stay in power and people rightfully uprose, not go down to the Congress and defecate and tear stuff up, but rightfully rose up in the streets, that they would try to use the military to suppress us, because it is illegal for the military to basically carry out missions on American soil. Like, they can't call the military in on us, but they can use the Insurrection Act if there was ever some type of crisis and you needed the military to basically restore order. Back to Scott Hall, allegedly, apparently, Scott Hall, the bail bondsman that's connected to Sidney Powell and the lower level people in Coffee County, he had a conversation with Jeffrey Clark on January 2nd for over an hour. Mind you, he has lost his appeal. Well, I guess it's really not an appeal, but he was trying to move his court case out of Georgia to federal court, and he just lost. Basically, everybody that's trying to do it is losing that battle right now. So this really connects Scott Hall to the upper echelons of the people of the entire conspiracy. Now, as far as Scott Hall's plea deal, baby, he got a sweet one, and I would have been talking too. This man, for allegedly attempting to overthrow democracy, overthrow the Georgia elections, because he has chosen to plead guilty and to cooperate with Fani Willis down there in the district attorney office, he is only going to get 5 years of probation. He will have to pay a $5,000 fine, which that's a significant amount of money for most people, but I'm pretty sure he got it. He a bail bondsman. He got some money somewhere. 200 hours of community service, and he has to testify truthfully when he testifies against everybody else and cooperate with prosecutors. Also issue a public apology. The man is accused of being in a criminal conspiracy with the former president of the United States to overthrow democracy, and he got 5 years of probation to flip. Baby, if that's not a sweetheart deal, the people have to be shaking in their knickers. They have to be on the phone call with their lawyers asking, hey, now wait a minute. Because what we've also heard is a lot of the lower level people, not him, but a lot of the lower level people are having difficulty even paying for their legal counsel for this whole thing. So you see Scott get a sweetheart deal. This is a sweetheart deal. This man could have been in prison. This is a sweetheart deal to tell the truth. Baby, I think more people gonna start flipping. What about you? Child, it's very, very tested, but that's all I have for today. Baby, I'm gone for the weekend. I will see y'all back on Monday. If you've enjoyed this week and want to just contribute and send a little love offering to me, because I keep you updated and entertained and laughing and knowing the things that you need to know, baby, go ahead and do that. I appreciate it. Every week, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank y'all for being here and just rocking with me. Y'all have a great weekend. And if that breaking news breaks, then you know I'll be back.